Okay, well, hello. This is supposed to be the streaming, and you will finally see it. But right now, I have a big problem with my software to get the image on the software. I don't know, because I did something last week and now it's all messed up. So what I'm doing is I'm making a recording simultaneously with the camera on my computer, and that's working. So then I will upload it after this experiment, because it's really funny, because I named the live stream an invisible addiction and it's really, I think that this is really very invisible. I mean, for the ones that are watching the live stream, for sure, because I mean, it's there's a beautiful picture which says "Origin of Happiness." It doesn't really frustrate me a little bit, but it's also quite funny actually. So this is the way we're going to do it tonight, without any image on the stream, but with the bonus that you can watch it later again with the video. So I hope that you are, well, all good, present in this very moment. And then we're going to talk about some important, very important things. But I have to disappoint you guys about this invisibility. But it's also an extra dimension that you just can imagine, which I think is also kind of good. The stream health is mais ou menos good, which means more or less. Oh yeah, I was a little bit late. I will check my Skype. I will put on my Skype, because if you're watching for the first time, or if you're here for the first time on the stream, it works like this. If you want to interact and ask me questions, it's possible. You can send your questions to my Skype account, which is Lee Hogenberg 72, and then I can answer your questions there. Which is active right now. And if you want to talk with me live, you can also let me know there, and then you can talk on the live stream without me seeing you now, or actually no, we can see each other if we do it on Skype, but anyway, it's all very invisible today. Oh, it says it's offline. Why is that? That's really strange. Why does it say it's offline? It's really funny. Very funny, this. Okay, so I want to talk about what's visible and what's invisible. Visible and invisible, I mean. And you might think that everything is invisible, and it is. It is, and it isn't. Through your perception of experience, your personal perception, you might experience the sensation of things being visible, and that is because the focus is on fear. And when the focus is on fear, then you are afraid that everything is being seen. But it's not being seen, it's your fear that makes it like a magnifying glass. The way you feel, the unpleasantness that you experience in situations, the awkwardness or the stress or the discomfort, anxiety or dishonesty or anything that happens for you. So but this is only happening from your personal perspective. And nothing else or no one else is busy with what is visible, what is not visible for you. I remember when I was very stuck in situations and in patterns that I knew that were not good for me. I remember that I felt like, but they can see everything. Everyone can see that I'm messing up everything. That my life is such a bullshit or yeah. I just got very anxious. No, not anxious. Afraid, because the whole energy was like, it was focused on, what am I doing wrong? Why? This should be different, and I'm not good as I am. And the fear makes it bigger, makes this sensation huge, especially in your mind, but it can also be in your body, that you feel this tension or the tightening up of your body, or starting to feel cold or stressy, and because there's no space to just let it be, and to that it's okay, that it's not the end, that there's just something happening in the moment that you're feeling uncomfortable with, and that is okay. So what actually mostly happens is that you have these patterns mostly unconscious patterns, but sometimes they are also conscious, that you're addicted to. And being addicted to these things is actually an escape from life. It's the addiction of escaping the moment and being afraid to fully experience what's going on. And the addiction probably comes forth from your search to something else outside of this moment that you would like to make you happy, and that you would like somebody else or a situation or a perfect idea about some future event that is going to fulfill you. But both ways, both these patterns are addictive patterns that are invisible, but they're very, very intensely experienced, and they're usually so intensely experienced that you start to feel ugly or unworth living, or unworthy of a relationship or a partner, because you are so focused on what's wrong with it, and with it that you are it, but that's not what you are. These are stories about past events, experiences, and if you could allow yourself to only maybe for a little moment, but to allow yourself to be terrified by what it is that you're actually really feeling, the sensation is actually really there. If you would allow yourself this just for a little moment, it would give so much space. But it's not easy, it's really very difficult. So I'm not saying it's easy. But since your mind makes it into a big thing, a big fear, it can help to just close your eyes and to just feel your breath. Follow your breath wherever it is. Whether it's high in your chest, whether you can't really feel where it is, whether you feel your heart is like pounding and restless, or you feel this tension in your heart area, or you feel contraction in your solar plexus, or you feel pain in your stomach, or maybe in your shoulders, in your lower belly. When you close your eyes, the only distraction could be your thoughts, but also your thoughts, just like any idea, just comes and goes. So also the idea of not being worthy, or that everybody sees how bad you are, or how ever you feel about yourself, it doesn't matter. It's okay if you don't feel good with how you view yourself. But it's much more important to recognize it, what it is that you are thinking about yourself, then that there's a need to change it. At first, there is no need to change it. It's only as it is. And when you allow yourself to feel as it is, whether frustrating, something happens. Something just happens. Because when this happens, then there's the experience of the moment that you're actually present. And this presence, this present moment, doesn't judge. It's not addicted. It doesn't want to hide. It just is here, and it won't go. So to always try to allow yourself, wherever you are, to let this just arise and happen, and not resist it. Oh yeah, and then it can also happen that you are being very serious, because this is also something that happens when you're searching for fulfillment, or you're being on a spiritual path of awareness, and then you can start to be really serious. I also remember that I wasn't really on a spiritual path, but I just wanted to feel free about myself, and to be happy with myself, or to allow myself. But I was also, many times, I was very serious, because there was this frustration, and there was that that energy of wanting to change what was going on. And then this seriousness becomes like a heaviness and like a drag to live and to continue living. And it's important to realize that this life isn't just all serious. It's actually a continuous movement of lightness and depth and intensity and all these things, and also the feeling of bliss, and then you sense some amazement or fascination for something. Something can be very subtle. And what also is something that keeps you from away from this moment is nonchalance. The nonchalance about your body, or about your relationships, or about everything that is part of your life. But also the nonchalance, like a mindset that you just the mindset that it all is not really, it doesn't really matter. And neither of these principles, the nonchalance and also the seriousness, and also you can also say the arrogance is also. So okay, let's say there's three ways of, it's like attitudes. One is the serious attitude, the other one is the arrogant attitude, and the other one is the nonchalance attitude. And these attitudes just keep you away from this moment. And so they keep you away from yourself, because that is what you are. You are this moment. And I guess that for me, in my life, I've mostly been, I guess, more the arrogant and more the serious side. That these attitudes were in my way of feeling at peace and feeling truly happy with myself. So I've really experienced this for many years, and there was this resistance to just allowing and not allowing how I was, or how I was doing, or how I was feeling. And when you can start to see that your life is actually impersonal, nothing of whatever happens is personal, then your suffering will end. You will have to deal with daily life challenges and practical life, but the suffering about events happening that you feel they are personal, that will end. Is the volume good? I guess so, because I don't hear any complaints. Mm. Ja, kom maar. Kom, kom. Ja. Okay, there's flow. Okay, thank you, Rogers Hennessy. How is it for you guys that you don't see me but you just hear me? Is that good? Because I suppose it's a very different kind of effect. So you don't have to be busy with the image of me, but you can just listen to the words, and then I guess it might even help you to be more where you are, because then you can just listen and let the words come in, and then feel how you relate to that, or how you respond to that. So I'm just curious how it is. What is the difference for you? Okay. Yeah, I can imagine it's soothing in a way. I understand that. Okay, I have here some text. I can't remember whether I read it last week. I don't think I did. So okay, I'll read it for you now. This is what I wrote a couple of days ago. Okay, you are distracting yourself with arrogance, with judgment, and with victimhood. This is something you just know inside. Nobody else can tell you this, but you know this. And when you know this, the separation only gets bigger in your mind. The frustration about knowing this to be true is like the invisible addiction of putting yourself down about whatever you do and think. So give in to this frustration. It's not a distraction. It is what you feel or how you feel. Allow it to be and let it burn your distraction away. So this is just to a description of what I've been speaking about just now. And it's about going into your feelings instead of trying to escape them, whether they're subtle sensations or whether they're very intense. And I think either way, whatever it is, it's very beautiful, because the body is continuously having these dynamics, and I wanted to say digestion, but digestion is not really the word, but it has to deal every moment with sensations or emotions or things that come up through your body in situations that you are experiencing all kinds of stuff. And when you can connect with this, it's actually really beautiful, and it's very basic, and it's bringing you down to earth, to this moment, to where you are. So while you are listening, you can do this. While you are sitting at the table having your dinner, or being at work with colleagues and there's some stress going on, you can do this. You can always reflect. Maybe you're not always able to do this in the moment, because it can be really difficult, really hard. It's possible, but it's not necessary. But okay, let's say you have some irritation with a colleague or with your partner, and then you can just afterwards, by yourself, in the moment, doesn't matter where you are, but you just with yourself, you're not in the discussion, you're not in the irritation anymore, and you just go and reflect. You just reflect. You tell yourself to reflect on this. And so you ask yourself, okay, what is it that I'm still feeling? Because usually these sensations take a little while. It takes a little while to realize, oh gee, there's so much heat in my chest, because that's usually where frustration or anxiety goes into, and then it disappears again, like the little waves on the beach. It's just, first it's a huge wave, and it's like, whoa, it's like a flood, or maybe even tsunami. It's like, whoa, there's nothing that you can control. It's just happening. It's overwhelming, and this overwhelming energy is what we learn to escape. You can't feel like this. It's because it's making you feel powerless, and it's making you feel unpleasant, and you don't want to feel unpleasant, and you have to keep going, and you have to be strong and not be vulnerable. So all that conditioning from upbringing and also from society can make it very difficult, but you can relearn to do this in a different way, and to teach yourself. So teach yourself to reflect and just be with the discomfort instead of escape it. And know that you can do this, because this is what you've always done before you got this conditioning. This is what your nature is. It can handle everything. What makes it difficult, what makes it hard, is that your thoughts rise and they say, no, not like this. This is not the way it should be. No, it should be like this. It should look like this. It should sound like this. It should, I should behave like this, or the other should behave like that. So there's all these ideas, but all these ideas are unimportant. The only thing that's important is what is happening for you in the moment. To see what's happening as personal, isn't that a great invisible addiction? Roger says. Well, I was just speaking before about the mind makes a discomfort seem like something huge, because usually it's not allowed to be as it is. But that's not really the personal view. It's just it's the identification of some idea that it isn't okay to be as it is. Okay, well, yeah, I could go on. I just feel like leaving it for now, for tonight. I'm also going to try to fix the streaming for next week with the normal software, the software that I'm using, but it just didn't work yet. So unless there's somebody that would like to speak live now, then I'm going to make it to an end. Okay, guys, so then this was it. Have a really good week and take care, and see you next week. You're welcome, Rogers, Hennessy. And now I can't stop the streaming. That's really shitty. Wait. Yes. Okay, bye-bye.